Discover Canada Study Questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com. Which Canadian province is situated in the Appalachian Mountain Range? A. Alberta. B. Nova Scotia. C. New Brunswick. D. Ontario. The correct answer is C. New Brunswick.
What is the difference between the role of the sovereign and that of the Prime Minister? A. The sovereign is the head of state and is represented by the Governor General, while the Prime Minister is the head of the government and is represented by the Ministers of the Crown. B. The sovereign is the head of state and the Prime Minister is the head of the government, but they must work together. C. The sovereign is the head of state and has very little real power, while the Prime Minister is the head of the government and is quite powerful. D. The sovereign is the head of state and is quite powerful, while the Prime Minister is the head of the government and has very little real power. The correct answer is C. The sovereign is the head of state and has very little real power, while the Prime Minister is the head of the government and is quite powerful.
In 1814, Major General Robert Ross led an expedition from Nova Scotia that burned the White House in Washington, D.C. Why? A. To make the Americans want to end the war quickly. B. To settle a personal grievance that he had with the American president. C. In retaliation for the burning of York, now called Toronto. D. To get back at the Americans for invading Canada. The correct answer is C. In retaliation for the burning of New York, now called Toronto.
When was old age security devised? A. 1927. B. 1932. C. 1937. D. 1922. The correct answer is A. 1927. What is Canada's motto? A. Amare usque ad mare. B. Tempus fugit. C. Cogito ergo sum. D. Errare humanum est. The correct answer is A. Amare usque ad mare.
What was the first document that guaranteed territorial rights for Aboriginals? A. Royal Proclamation, 1763. B. Charter of Rights and Freedoms, 1982. C. Quebec Act, 1774. D. British North America Act, 1867. The correct answer is A. Royal Proclamation, 1763.
What is a referendum? A. An important matter that all citizens have the right to vote on. B. An important matter where all citizens vote through their MP. C. A vote within a single electoral district to choose a member of parliament. D. A vote within a single electoral district where all citizens vote directly on an important matter. The correct answer is A, an important matter that all citizens have the right to vote on. What does the phrase ordered liberty mean? A. People must follow the government. B. Freedom is liberty. C. There is freedom with no limits. D. There is freedom, but with certain limits. The correct answer is D. There is freedom, but with certain limits. How are laws useful to society? A. They explain every detail of how Canadians must live. B. They let police decide which laws to enforce. C. They give people rules to follow. D. They provide a peaceful way to settle disputes. The correct answer is D. They provide a peaceful way to settle disputes.
What are the three branches of government? A. The Conservatives, the New Democratic Party, and the Liberals. B. The Prime Minister, the Cabinet, and the backbenchers. C. Executive, Legislative, and Judicial. D. Federal, Provincial, and Municipal. The correct answer is C. Executive, Legislative, and Judicial.
Where does habeas corpus come from? A. History and tradition. B. English common law. C. French Civil Code. D. Quebec Act. The correct answer is B. English common law.
How does Canada maintain its high standard of living? A. By producing everything we need to live. B. By saving our money. C. By growing our own food. D. By engaging in trade with other nations. The correct answer is D. By engaging in trade with other nations. Which part of the Parliament buildings was destroyed by fire? A. The library. B. The center block. C. The east block. D. The west block. The correct answer is B. The center block. Who proclaimed the amended Constitution in 1982? A. The Supreme Court. B. The Governor General. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau. The correct answer is C. Queen Elizabeth II.
Which Canadian province is known for its mining, fishing, fruit orchards, and wine industry? A. British Columbia. B. Nova Scotia. C. New Brunswick. D. Ontario. The correct answer is A. British Columbia.
Which of these areas are local governments responsible for? A. Education, healthcare, and property rights. B. Urban planning, streets and roads, and garbage removal. C. Policing, the military, and firefighting. D. Environment, snow removal, and national defense. The correct answer is B. Urban planning, streets and roads, and garbage removal.
Why was warfare between Aboriginal groups common at the time that Europeans arrived? A. Aboriginals were competing for prestige. B. Aboriginals were competing for land and resources. C. Aboriginals were competing for land. D. Aboriginals were competing for land, resources, and prestige. The correct answer is D. Aboriginals were competing for land, resources, and prestige. When did Mexico join Canada and the USA in NAFTA? A. 1990. B. 1996. C. 1994. D. 2001. The correct answer is C. 1994.
Which two provinces have provincial police forces? A. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. B. Alberta and British Columbia. C. Ontario and Quebec. D. Manitoba and Prince Edward Island. The correct answer is C. Ontario and Quebec. What was Terry Fox's run called? A. East to West Run. B. Marathon of Hope. C. The Long Run. D. Canada Marathon. The correct answer is B. Marathon of Hope. Discover Canada Study Questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com.